Hi guys, I have not done a Facebook Live in quite a while, but I feel really inspired today, so I figured I'm just going to jump on here and talk about a subject I get asked about a lot, which is motivation. People say, well, how do you stay motivated to keep going? And so I want to talk a little bit about motivation, and I want to talk about motivation versus discipline. I mean, am I motivated every day? Hell no. Nobody's motivated every day. So I think it's really important to get motivated, to get moving. And by the way, guys, my eyes aren't great. So if you want to ask questions, I would suggest putting them in the comments, and I'll try to go back through the video and pick out anything I missed later, but otherwise I'll answer your comments like once I'm done. But back to motivation. So in order to get the ball rolling, we have to get motivated. We have to find something that inspires and motivates us. I really caution you when we're talking about fitness goals to find goals besides the scale. A lot of people are so tied to that scale that every time they get up in the morning and step on the scale, if the scale doesn't say something different, whether it's lower or higher depending on what your goals are, then their whole day is ruined, right? So that's a problem, especially if you look at some of, go to FitBody Fusion's Instagram or Facebook, and you'll see a lot of people, whether they're transformations or athletes, that'll show before and after pictures at the exact same weight when it looks like a totally different body. So the aesthetics are only one piece also. So, we talked about weight. Be careful not having weight as your only goal. Yes, of course, you track it just to kind of know what's going on, but that can't be your only goal. The other thing is letting aesthetics be your only goal. Now, obviously, we are in this world of fitness and health, and we want to look great, we want to feel great in our own skin. So that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that being part of it. I just caution you as to making it all of it. I think what happens is one day we get up, we're feeling a little bloated, we don't like how we look that day, so our motivation is gone. Well, that's a problem because we need to get up and go. We need to keep moving forward. For me, as I've gotten older, for those of you who don't know, I'll be 48 this year, right? So for me, one of my big focuses has been like, what can my body do? That's really cool. How much can I lift, right? I'm not trying to go crazy. I'm not a power lifter or anything, but how much can I lift? How strong do I feel? How flexible am I? I love yoga. Yoga for me is really, really important. As we get older, balance is a really important factor. Flexibility is an important factor. Strength, all of those things. So for me, I'll be working on a new pose that I wasn't able to do before, or getting deeper into a stretch that I wasn't able to do before. Things like, my kids can call me up and say, hey, let's go on a 10-mile hike. And I could say, yes, let's go. I love it. Let's get moving. To me, that's really amazing. The fact that I can go on a 10-mile hike and yeah, I'm tired, I'm sore, but I can do it. This body can do it. So those are the kinds of things that I think when you focus on these for motivation, what can my body do? We get one body. We get one chance at this life. Taking those opportunities to move, to live, to try something new, do something you haven't done before, fail, it's okay, and then get up and get better. I mean, those things can be so motivating, right? So looking for motivation outside of what do I look like in the mirror and what is on my scale is so important. This is how you stay motivated. This is how you stay excited to be alive, to get out of the bed in the morning each day, to, take on a new challenge. Life can be hard sometimes, so we have to embrace those moments. So let's talk a little bit about, when we talk about motivation versus discipline, right? On those days we're not motivated, what are we going to do? We're going to rely on our discipline, creating habits. And let me tell you guys, this takes work, right? I didn't just start out with the habit of getting up and doing my macros every day or eating a certain way or exercising every day. No, I had to build that. One of the things that I hear people saying a lot is, I feel like people just want something to happen to them. Like, I want to stop obsessing about food. Well, the more you obsess about stopping obsessing about food, the more you're obsessing about food, right? So it's a practice. It's like anything in life. You have to work at it. If you want to work at not obsessing about food, guess what you need to do? work on focusing your attention on something else, right? The more attention I give to stop thinking about food, the more I'm thinking about food. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's like in meditation, right? If I'm thinking about my thoughts constantly, I'm constantly thinking, which means I'm not meditating, right? So if I can just allow myself to be and observe the thoughts as they're going through, now I'm meditating. This is a great analogy for life, right? So think about what you do want to focus on. What do you want your attention to? You can't just omit something. You've got to replace it with something, okay? So we have to create these new habits. So it takes practice. It takes failing. It takes falling. It takes going, man, I really did crappy yesterday. And getting up today and going, okay, I did crappy yesterday. I didn't eat right. I missed my workout. Let's do something different today. You know, or what led up to that happening, right? So creating those habits. When do our habits really start to fail us? You know, I travel all the time. That's tough. That's tough to keep your habits when you're traveling. You're in a different state, you're in a different environment, you're in a different gym, you have access to different food. So it's one of those things that you have to work on and you have to practice. And the habits don't just happen to you. You have to create them, and it's work. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? So we have to work at creating those habits. That's why whenever we're coaching people with FitBody Fusion, I'm an intuitive eater now, but it took me years of counting my macros. It took me years of logging my food. It took years of practice. A lot of times people just want to jump to the finish line. If you don't already know how to do it, if you haven't already practiced, you're not going to go and, hey, I want to be a doctor. So tomorrow I'm going to go show up to the hospital and I got a job. No, I've got to go to medical school. I've got to do an internship. I've got to do, my specialty. I've got to do whatever it is I got to do to get to that end point. So if you want to create this lifestyle that you've dreamed of, where fitness is part of it, where, you're healthy, where you're moving, where you look the way you want to look, right? That's a piece of it. All those things you're motivated or not motivated about, depending on the day or the time of the day or whatever. You have to work at creating those habits. You have to work at that discipline. And once you have the habits in place, it becomes easy. It will, I promise you, if you will dedicate yourself to this, it will become easy. For me, it's part of what I do. When I go into a restaurant, I know how to order. I just went down to grab a sandwich, which I'm going to eat in a minute. I went to Which, and I got my regular sandwich. I got it skinny style. I know what I can put on it. I'm going to have half of it now. I'm going to have half of it later or tomorrow, whatever. But I know how to go into a place and order so that, I'm still staying within, what's a good macro level for me, but I had to take the time to build my metabolism. I had to take the time to get my body where I wanted it. And then I had to take the time to learn how to eat properly for that, right? So some of that comes from motivation, like we talked about, finding new things that are going to motivate you so that when you're old, tried and true of what I look like or what it says on the scale or whatever, when that falls apart, what are you leaning on then? Do you want to be 50 years old and be able to go for 10, 15-mile hikes with your family? Do you want to be able to do things, feel great in your body, run up and down the stairs without panting? What kind of things motivate you? That's really important, and it's not just what you look like, which is great. It's awesome. That's part of it. But what else is there? And then when I'm not feeling motivated, when I'm feeling super down and I'm not in the mood and I'm just really having a hard time, I've got to be able to rely then on, that's just what I do. It's just what I do. I get up in the morning, I make my breakfast, I get ready for the gym, I do my things that I do. I want to talk a little bit about traveling. I'm going to let you guys go because I'm trying not to make these too long. But for me, I'm on the road all the time. I'm eating out with people. It's still important to be able to live this lifestyle. It's not a pick or choose sort of thing. You've got to be able to do it in every situation. If I'm going to a city I've never been to before, I'm going to do a little bit of homework ahead of time. What gyms can I work out? I like classes. I like to try something new. I'm trying aerial yoga right now. I'm doing some different things. So what's in that city that I might be able to go that's going to excite me, that's new, that's going to motivate me to do something? So, you know, I'm going to look ahead at that and I'm going to make some plans. You know, when do I have, you know, a free hour here and there? If I'm going to see people, maybe they want to come with me. See if I can rope other people in. As far as for the food, you guys can do this. You can do this when you travel. I eat in airports all the time. I bring lots of food with me. I go out to dinners. It's not that hard, guys. It's really not. It's only what you put in here. It takes practice, though. It does. It takes practice saying no and not just eating your face off, you know. So anyway, to sum it all up, you know, hopefully I gave you guys some ideas, you know, and, you know, finding different things that motivate you and ways to stay motivated. Look for videos, look for people that inspire you to stay healthy and you know, to feel amazing. You know, create community around you. People can be a huge motivation. And you guys are all a huge motivation for me. You know, I'm so grateful for our FitBody family. Like every single day you guys motivate me. I had a client yesterday, and I just got to share this because I was so excited. She hasn't been with me for many, many months. She really struggled. I could barely get her to eat 1,000 calories when she first started. She was doing hours of cardio a day. And now she does, you know, just a good, nice little regular amount of cardio. She's eating 1,600 calories a day. She looks amazing. She looks healthy and fit and strong. Everybody's motivation's a little bit different. That was a really, really tough hurdle for her to overcome. And so I was really grateful that she reached out and shared that. And I'll share her pictures and everything on our social media so you guys can see how awesome that is. So, you know, build that infrastructure around you guys. You know, if you've got somebody who's bringing you down, who's bringing down your motivation, who's sabotaging your success, you know, maybe consider if that's somebody that you really want to have in your life or have close to you in your life, because you're going to be more successful the more people that you're surrounded with that are also, you know, about growing and motivating themselves and breaking through their walls and pushing past. I want to just emphasize one more time, it's hard to build new habits. It's hard to build discipline. It's hard to find your motivation. I'm not saying these things are easy. I'm saying they're worth it. So go out there, make it happen. I hope this motivated you guys a little bit. I'm going to try to do these a little bit more often, so I'm happy to get your suggestions of topics you'd like to hear me talk about. Otherwise, you know, Happy New Year to you guys, and I'm really excited about 2018. I feel like it's going to be a great year for all of us. So anyway, I hope to see you guys all soon and hear from you. Please give me your comments. I'll talk to you soon.